We are through 2 weeks of VCT Americas, which means we have only one more week to go until Super Week. And if we're being honest, South America has come to play. Both undefeated teams in the Americas region thus far are from the South, Furia and Loud. And Leviatan is sitting in fourth by just a single round. Remember, there's only 3 teams from the Americas region that get to qualify for Tokyo, which means if teams of the likes of NRG, 100 Thieves, or a Yayless Cloud9 can't get things going in the right direction heading into Super Week, we could already be looking at an all South American representation at Masters. We do still have plenty of time left, at least for now. Y'all already know how we do for these wraparound videos, man. Let's talk results, pickems, and of course, get down that America's Power 5. Let's go ahead and get down and do what it do. Now, in that intro, I had mentioned that the Yayless Cloud9 needed to look to turn things around heading into the Super Week. And maybe that wasn't quite fair, really looking back at it. Now it has only been 2 weeks, right? And Cloud9 was able to steal a map from Loud in their matchup and take them to distance into that 3 maps. I mean, when you look at Split, you know, they actually look pretty good against Loud. I mean, on Split, you have to remember, it is the map, one of the 2 maps, I should say, that Loud was able to take away from Fnatic during lock-in, right? So, I mean, they were able to win 13-7. It's just the unfortunate thing is once we happen to see that Loud did get rolling on Ascent and Pearl, they really just kind of ended up doing what Loud does best, right? 13-8 on Ascent, 13-7 on to Pearl to wrap things up. I mean, Cloud9's next 3 games should really tell us how they look as far as if they're Tokyo ready or not. But as far as for now, things looking just a little shaky, at least at this point in time, right? Now, as far as our next game, we did see a battle in the South. That was actually Leviatan and Furia. And similarly, too, Leviatan actually took that first map, right? They actually were able to take Pearl there, 13-11. King absolutely carrying on Pearl, plus 17 just on Pearl. Absolutely insane. Unfortunately, though, for both Leviatan and King, wasn't able to go positive, not just in any of the games, but even combined. Neither, no players on Leviatan able to do it, and that allowed for a very quick turnaround here for Furia. They actually dropped Icebox pretty quickly, unfortunately, 13-5. They were able to put up a little bit better of a fight on Ascent there, 13-10. But, you know, again, thinking back, imagine if Leviatan would have been able to put up double digits here in this Icebox map. We'd have been talking about an all South American top 3 in Americas 2 weeks in. That's kind of insane to think about, right? Now, NRG was able to bounce back from their loss in week number 1. They actually looked really, really strong against Sentinels here. I mean, they looked really, really good. I mean, let's even look down here at the bottom. Everyone positive on their side. I mean, when we talk about that first map there, able to win by a score of 13-10. And then they went out to Icebox, and Sentinels was only able to win 2 individual rifle rounds. I mean, absolutely insane. They were able to take Sentinels out to Icebox, and they just got absolutely cold, which is kind of the opposite of what we had seen in the other game on Sunday, on Sunday, which was MIBR and KRU, right? I mean, we're talking about where their shortest map was 22 rounds. That was that first map on Ascent, which was 13-9 there. And you can actually see KRU able to win quite a few rounds there in a row to be able to wrap things up. But once things turned around, and I don't know what it was about this last week, really. It seems like if you won the first map, you needed to make sure that you won the second. Otherwise, you were going home with an L. They were able to win that first one, 13-9. Then it was 13-11 on Lotus, 14-12 on to Pearl, off the back of 6 straight rounds, 4 rounds in a row, in order to force the overtime, then 2 rounds in a row in order to actually wrap things up. As far as on the side of KRU Esports, that's a big old feels bad, bro. You know what I mean? Then as far as when you get into Monday itself, that was a North American battle. We saw 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses. I think this is kind of a good example of like that average like discrepancy from the top to the bottom of the Americas League. Because look, I get it. I know 100 Thieves isn't one of those teams that you've ever seen that's like seen as a top threat in what's now the Americas region, right? But even with that being said, 100 Thieves has always kind of been this team that always sits in that like third, fourth kind of range. You know what I mean? If you disagree, definitely feel to let me know down that comments below. But Evil Geniuses, they were able to keep things close. We saw 13-9 here on Haven. Of course, that was their pick. We got out to Icebox. Not quite the same story. Never really able to piece 2 rounds together other than those 2 rounds there very, very late, or should I say actually early in the second half. But only putting 5 rounds together, man. This actually means that Evil Geniuses is the only team in the Americas region to fail to pick up a map during their first 2 matchups, which is kind of tough when you think about it, right? That does, though, put me at 4-1 on my pickems for the week. I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought Leviatan was going to be able to come out on top, which would have had me undefeated for the week. Still searching for that perfect week thus far when it comes to those pickems there, right? So, I mean, who knows? We do this thing every week. Maybe this is going to be the week that I'm going to be able to do it. We do this for every region, so make sure if you're looking forward and don't want to miss out on any episode, whether it's Americas, EMEA, Pacific, or any of our Valorant news updates, stuff like that, make sure you help your boy out, slap that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, all right? Oh, and let me know down in the comments below, like, what other type of content y'all want to see here on the page as we try and race down that first 250, all right? But before we get to our pickems here for week 3 YouTube, how's your sleep, man? Do you ever catch yourself suffering from headaches after long nights of the grind? GamerAdvantage is the leader in impactful eyewear technology that has been proven to help you sleep better, focus more, all without distorting color or comfort, relieving headaches and eye strain, all while fitting comfortably under a headset. Stay in the game longer with GamerAdvantage. Link is always going to be down in that description below. And don't forget to check out that code YoBoyCue is going to save you that 10%. All right, let's go ahead and get into our pickems here for week 3 in VCT Americas, because our first game of the weekend is going to be an absolute banger. We've got Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves, and both teams have already played Evil Geniuses, so I think it'd be easy to say that 100 Thieves looked better in their common opponent there, but I do think that Cloud9 is going to get better and better throughout the season. They're going to kind of close that gap between them and those top teams in the region. I do think this is going to be a 3-map banger. I wouldn't be surprised if Cloud9 does win, but give me 100 Thieves here to go ahead and walk away with the dub. I think Cloud9 just needs a little bit more time. You know what I'm saying? As far as in NRG Esports versus MIBR, I think like this should be a no-brainer, right? I mean, NRG just lost Leviatan, but I think for most people, they're still considered like a top team in the Americas. MIBR, maybe more in that like middle of the pack to like bottom third, right? I think we should see NRG roll until like week 6 from here on out. So actually, give me NRG in 2. Leviatan is going to be coming off that tough loss to Furia. And yeah, Sentinels probably want to bounce back off of their loss as well. But I do think that Leviatan has a chip on their shoulder right now. Living in that shadow of Loud, and now Furia, at least as far as thus far in the season, also give me Leviatan in 2. Now, when we talk about Evil Geniuses versus KRU Esports, this should be interesting. This is one of those matchups where it's going to be 2 teams who have yet to walk away with their first dub of their first series dub of the season, right? This is probably like my least confident pick of the 5 this week. I do think, though, that I'm going to go ahead and roll with NA on top, even though that might not always be the case when it comes to the Americas region, right? Go ahead and give me EG in 3. Now, for sure, going to be hanging out with the community, watching Loud versus Furia on Monday. You can guarantee that. This should be an absolute banger of a matchup. I'm expecting 3 maps of South American spice. You can call it a safe pick if you want, but I am going to be taking Loud in what I expect to be a series that I hope gives us 70+ rounds. But I want to know who y'all are taking in these 5 games here, YouTube. Let me know in those comments down below, especially because those comments and those likes that y'all are about to be flooding down those bottom right-hand corner. Those are the 2 things that really help me the most when it comes to cracking into that YouTube algorithm and getting my content in front of more people. And y'all have been absolutely killing it lately, man. I do truly appreciate y'all. But let's go and get into everyone's favorite part of these regional wraparounds here with Q. That's right. It's power rankings time, baby. Quick reminder here, though, that I don't always do this like simply just based off of record or anything like that, right? That's no fun. Although it definitely is going to be considered. It's going to be weighed in here, right? Well, other things that I'm going to be talking about, though, is also be considering like round differential and strength of schedule as well, right? So without further ado, I bring to you Marshall. Sorry. So without further ado, in that number 5 spot, we're going to be talking about 100 Thieves. Truth is, 100 Thieves just hasn't played a top 5 team yet in the region. And while you could say that you can't control who is sitting across from you at any given time, what you can control is how you play in. Yeah, they might have the highest round differential of the 1-1 teams. I'm just not sold on them just quite yet. These next 2 weeks, though, they can really prove their worth these next couple of matchups where they got Cloud9 and Leviatan during Super Week. Now, in that number 4 spot, though, we are going to go ahead and put NRG. While NRG may have got caught sleeping during that matchup versus Leviatan to start the season, they made sure to come out last week and prove to the rest of the region they ain't scared to go back to Lotus after that 13-4 beatdown. I do think NRG is still the best of the North American teams. I even think they have some potential to get higher up on this list. The real question becomes, can they prove it, right? For now, number 4 is where they sit, which means that number 3 spot is actually going to go to the team who beat NRG. That's going to be Leviatan. Yeah, sure, they lost to Furia, right? But they looked pretty stout for the most part in that loss as well. And I think they do still have some room to improve. I don't think they've hit their ceiling by any stretch of the means yet. But for now, they are going to sit in that 3 spot. And they do kind of control their destiny from here on out. I mean, I know that sounds kind of crazy, all teams do, but they've already played NRG. They've already played Furia. They won't play Loud until week 10. So as far as where they sit in the power ranking, again, they kind of control their destiny. They either beat themselves or they're going to beat whoever's across the stage from them, which leaves us with our 2 undefeated teams thus far through the Americas. And, you know, I know Loud technically hasn't swept anybody, whereas you can say that Furia has. I think until proven otherwise, I do think that Loud is going to have to get the nod between these two, which kind of works out for us, right? Because as I said earlier, these 2 are actually our last game of the week. So if you want to make sure that you're back here for that, or you want to make sure that you're back for some more of our Valorant videos over here, since we're putting out almost daily esports content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. That way we can catch y'all right back here, right? Plus, if you made it this far in the video and you haven't already dropped a comment down below, tap in, man. Let me know where I'm right, where I'm wrong. Because like I said earlier, those and those likes that you're about to double check, make sure y'all hit earlier. Those are the 2 things that really help me out the most trying to get into that YouTube algorithm. All right. Y'all been absolutely killing it lately. I appreciate the support. Don't forget, if you want, you can always check out that Discord down in the description as well. All right. Oh, and since this is a video about VCT Americas, I kind of want to get y'all's thoughts about Ye signing with DSG, but let me know after watching that video. I'm going to have that in the link screen here in just a minute. All right. So until we catch y'all back over here on the channel, or I don't know, wherever we catch y'all next, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all. It's your boy Q, signing out.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be. You wanna be me, but you will never be as fresh as CUE.